Hello, everyone, and welcome to Evolve Yourself TV. I'm Agni James, and today we are going to be doing a guided meditation. And maybe we'll do a little philosophy talk as well. I'm always down for a little philosophy. So, how's everyone doing today? Hope everyone's doing well. It's 6:47 p.m. Central Time. I just got back from a good few mile hike with a buddy of mine. We went out to a forest preserve in the area. We got to explore that, and it was pretty neat. I always love getting out there in nature. There's something really refreshing about being out in nature, especially in this world where we're focused so much on screens, staring at screens all day, our phones, television screens, computer screens. Everything's a screen. It's just so refreshing to get out there and actually be around trees and fresh air. Yeah, and that's how we evolved. We evolved to be around trees and fresh air. We didn't evolve to be staring at screens. We pretty much have the same DNA that we had thousands of years ago. So, then that's how our environment was thousands of years ago, 10,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago. We were walking around nature. We weren't in this plastic environment like we're living in today. So, yeah, it felt good. You're out there and it's rejuvenating. You just feel more alive. I notice a lot of times I'll be sitting inside, doing some work on the computer, and I'll just feel kind of dead, just dead to the world. I won't be feeling healthy. I'll just be feeling kind of sick and kind of weak, and then I'll just get up and go for a walk, and all of a sudden I'm recharged and I feel good and I feel ready to go and ready to make a difference in the world. And I think a lot of people are like that too. Once you get outside and you actually do it, then you feel better. And there's a common inclination for people to just want to go to areas of comfort. Like just, oh, it's cold out. Let's just warm up in front of the fire or get a blanket and sit around and watch Netflix all day, right? But that's not life. That's not real life. I mean, when you do that, it's just diminishing returns. You don't really get the full effect of what it means to be a human. Hey, let's see, Maka Waka. Ooh, I like that. I love the name. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I got to meet you in Grace Yoga stream the other day. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. I saw that you followed. So much appreciated for the follow. I hope you're doing well. I can't wait to check out your stream. I stopped by the other day. I think it was maybe even earlier today, or it was yesterday. And it was like a be right back screen or something like that. So I figured I'd check you the next time because I had to leave. But yeah, welcome to the chat. Yeah, I mean, I do philosophy talks here. But primarily I do meditation. I'm trained. I'm an analytic philosopher, and I'm also a chess instructor too. Chess is my favorite game in the world. I play 363 days out of the year, and I teach it for a living. And then I teach meditation here. That's like my passion. To be able to teach meditation and philosophy to others. So welcome. Good to have you here. Yeah, I'm just kind of talking about how how it feels more rejuvenating to go out into the world and out in nature and just experience the environment as opposed to just sitting around inside and staring at the walls all day. So he said, yes, sorry, today was kind of wild. It's not the best day to come anyway. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Some days are like that, right? Some days, we when we're streaming, we have energy and we feel good and ready to go, and things are working well technologically wise. And some days I'm on here and everything's just kind of going to shit, right? Some days it's just like that. The main thing is just for at least for what I consider the main thing is to do is just to get out there and stream and do your best. Do what you can do. Here I'm just offering meditation to people. That's like the main thing, meditation and philosophy. Two things that I think are super important. I think both can be of the utmost importance and help a lot of people. So that's what I do here. Sometimes I'm feeling good and inspired to do so, and sometimes not so much. But if I can get out here and just do what I can, it means a lot to me, and it does mean a lot to some of the people out there as well. Let's see, I totally agree. You hate being at the computer all the time now. Yeah, I mean, it's true, right? It's true. Like, it just doesn't feel right. I remember as a kid even, I would go and I'd want to watch TV, and I'd be like sitting there in front of the TV, just like staring at the screen, and I'd start getting headaches after a while, and I would just be like, man, I feel nauseous. Like, why do I feel nauseous? Because we did not evolve to be sitting staring at a screen all day. That's not a natural way of existing. And then we wonder why we're getting headaches and why we feel fatigued. In fact, we didn't even evolve to be sitting. This is kind of an interesting thing. I have a background in molecular bio as well, and we actually evolved to be standing, walking, running, or laying down. We did not evolve to be in the seated position. So, not only are we staring at a screen in which our bodies are not, well acclimated to, but we're also in a seated position, which our bodies are not supposed to be doing. So we have all these, ergonomic chairs to help offset the fact that we're not supposed to be sitting, but it's not good for the spine. You wonder why so much of the world has back problems, right? It's because we're sitting all the time. Sitting is terrible for your spine. It's not a natural position for the human body. So yeah, I mean, and then staring at a screen is terrible for your eyes, and you're focused on one little thing. It's kind of interesting too, when we're focused just on one thing up close all the time, it's terrible for the eyesight as well. We're supposed to be looking, at things close and things that are really far in the distance. But how often do people actually look out, like, real far in the distance anymore? That used to be a super important skill to be able to be able to see things, really far away. You could see, like, the buffalo and the, roaming, in the countryside, like, 20 miles away or whatever. You go up on top of a mountain and you're looking out at things far away, right? Now we don't really look at things far away, and it messes with our eyesight. Our eyes are evolved to be able to see both far and close. And when you see just close, it doesn't do good things for your eyes. It kind of messes with your vision as well. So they say a good thing to do is to just look out your window every now and then, just let the farthest thing you could possibly see and just kind of focus on it every now and then, and take a break from looking at the computer screen, and that kind of balances out your eyesight. But people don't typically do that. Everyone's just so focused on what's in front of their face that they can't, they lose sight of the big picture awareness outside of them as well. Hey, Rocco Hemdas here. Good to see you, brother. How's it going? I have known Rocco Hemdas since I was 5 years old. He's a good friend of mine. He's put up with me all these years, which is quite a feat. I'm not always the easiest person to get along with, and yeah, he's a good person. I actually just filled out a recommendation for him for a job he applied to. So hopefully he'll get that job and everything's good. He also has chickens, which I think is really cool, and he got his first egg from one of the chickens just recently. It was funny. I was on stream. I was actually talking about how he's pissed because he's not getting any eggs. And then he just joined the chat and was like, "I got my first egg today." So it was kind of interesting how that happens. But I hope you're doing well, Rocco Hemda. I hope all your life is going good today. I hope all your family's healthy. I hope everything is just going well with you, brother. Yeah. So that's kind of what's going on. I went for a good walk today, and worked out prior to going for the walk. And then today was one of those days where I just got a bunch of things done around my place. And then also I played chess because that's kind of what I do every day. It's funny, like I'm playing this one game. The time control that I've been playing a lot lately is 3 days per move, which is kind of crazy. A lot of people think like, what, 3 days? But no, it's cool because you get like 5, 10, 15 games going, and then you get 3 days per move. And as long as you make a move in those 3 days, you're fine. But if you don't make a move in those 3 days, you lose, and if you get checkmated, you lose. Those are the end game conditions. So it gives you plenty of time to think about a given position. And the reason I like that over like speed chess or blitz chess is because then you can really focus in on a given position and think deeply into it. You can really penetrate deep into the variations and really see what's there, as opposed to like bullet chess where you have like a minute to play, when you're just basically throwing out the first decent looking move that you can. That's more of like the fast food of chess in my mind. I prefer longer time controls. When I do play live chess, like 10 minutes is kind of what I like, or I like standard time controls, 30 minutes or even longer. When I used to compete in the Chicago Open, I played I would play like 4.5 hour games. We would have long time controls, so some of my games would last 4.5 hours, and that was great. That gives you plenty of time to be able to really think and come up with the best move. When I teach chess, I always tell people this. Like I say, what do you think you want to do in chess? Do you want to make a good move? And everyone's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, you don't want to make a good move in chess. And everyone's like, what? What are you talking about? Why would you not want to make a good move? You're supposed to be our teacher, and you're telling us not to make good moves. And I'm like, yeah. You don't want it. If you see a good move, you don't just make it. The key to chess is looking deep into the position and seeing if there's a better move, and then finding the best move. So, because a lot of times you look at a position, you'll be like, oh, this is a good move. I can move this piece and gain a positional advantage. Or, oh, this is a good move. This will help me develop a piece, right? Or, oh, this is a good move. I can win a pawn. But you don't want to just make the first good move you see, because a lot of times there's a move like, oh, there's a checkmate. There's a checkmate I have here. In 3 moves if I make this move, or if I make this move, I can trap their queen in a few moves, right? And that's what you want to think about. So you don't want to just rush off and blitz out that first good move you see. You want to really think and see if you have a better move that you can make. And also, that only applies if you have like a long time to think, right? If you only have 10 seconds left on your clock, obviously you want to make the first decent looking move you can make. But if you have a lot of time, you want to take your time. One Sluggy's here. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How's life? How are you doing today? Hope all is well with you. I hope existence is treating you well and you're treating existence well. Just talking about chess a little bit right now. Chess is my passion, one of my passions in life. And I was just talking about giving some chess hints, how a lot of people just make the first quick move, but you want to like really think through it and make a better move. I'm actually, one of my games that I'm playing right now, it's really interesting. It's like a really complex position. Like sometimes you're in a position and there's really only like, one obvious move to make. It's like, oh, they're going to checkmate me unless I make this one move. So, you have to make it because it's the only move that's going to, prolong the game. And then sometimes you're in a position where it's like really tactically sharp. So one of my games right now, it's like super tactically sharp. And it's like, if you play chess long enough, you kind of know when there's a tactic. You can just have that sense when there's a tactic lurking in the position. Like a fork, a pin, a skewer, a discovered attack, something that's going to give you a strategic advantage or win material, right? So when you have that intuition, when you feel that there is something there, something you just like look at the position. Sometimes it's hard to find, but it's there. So it's like a puzzle. So right now in one of my games, there's like a situation where I know there's something there, and the question is whether I can find it. It's a really complex position, so I don't know if for sure if I'm going to be able to find it or not. And then sometimes even there's not something there. Sometimes you're looking forever and there's nothing to be found. But after I've done with the game, I'll analyze it if I don't find it and see if there actually was a tactic lurking in the background. You say you're doing fine. Hope all is well with me too. Well, thanks so much, One Sluggy. Awesome, man. Awesome. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. We got. If you're, I don't know where you're from. If you're in the U.S., we got Thanksgiving coming up on Thursday. It's kind of like a decent holiday. I mean, the funny thing is, when you were growing up, everyone was taught like, oh, Thanksgiving, we were great, we were friends with the Indians that lived here, and when we got here, we were like, having a good turkey dinner with them, right, and like everything was great and friendly. But like, I mean, we were actually, when people came to America, we were a bunch of fucking assholes, to be honest. We were just like, we were giving these people like blankets, the Native Americans like blankets with smallpox. We were like, killing them left and right. I mean, there's like Trail of Tears. We're like sending them out of their fucking lands, and we were just a bunch of bullies. We came to this country and like completely like fucking ravaged these people's homeland. It's pretty horrific actually what we did. But that's kind of how it always is in life. Like if you look back far enough, I mean, it's always, history is just a repeating pattern of a group that has more power coming in and like invading someone and then saying, we're gonna take all your shit, all your good shit, all your resources. We're gonna like I don't know, rape, pillage, and plunder and do whatever we can to like promote our own group, right? And then they're in power for a while and they stay there. And then another group comes in and like, hey, we're gonna do the same thing to you that you did to those people. And then the cycle repeats over and over and over. So if you really look back like 100,000 years, I mean, it's just an endless cycle of basically fucking over other groups of people. Welcome to the world. Welcome to humanity. That's what we do here, and that's what the human race is great at, right? So that's why I think philosophy is so important, because and metaphysics, right? Because metaphysics deals with the foundational nature of things, right? Like metaphysics is very interested in the foundational nature of reality. And I'm really interested in the foundational nature of identity. What metaphysical assumptions we have, different groups of people hold and different people hold about what it means to be a person. I'm really interested in personhood, the deeper kind of a person's self, right? And what I've come up with that makes the most sense to me is that our foundational essence is actually pure love. And if you hold that the foundational core of every human being is pure love, then it would never make sense for you ever to attack another human being or another group of people based on them being, supposedly different from you. Because if you are the same as them, if your foundational essence is pure love and their foundational essence is pure love, then why would you ever attack what's the same, right? It's only once people make distinctions and separations and divisions between people. Once people say, "Oh, well, that person is different than me," right? That person is a separate thing from me, right? When your ontology is such that there are differences between people, then it's easy to ascribe judgments and negative judgments to other people. They say, "Oh, they're a bad person because of X," or "They're a bad person because of Y," or "I should take over their land and pillage and plunder them because of these actions because they hold the following beliefs." But if you hold the notion that, hey, those beliefs do not constitute the person, and this is kind of an interesting fact, right? Those beliefs don't constitute what the person is. Those beliefs are just stuck in the consciousness. They're ego beliefs, right? The real person is just pure love. Then you'd never want to go fuck over another human being. And so, like, it seems like that's the most sense. It makes the most sense. Now, am I saying, you shouldn't, hold people accountable for their actions? Absolutely not. You got to keep things safe. You got to keep, people safe. If someone's going around murdering people left and right, obviously, like, that person should be, locked up and, get help, right? Because they're obviously not, living life in a very harmonious way. But I am espousing the notion that we should feel feelings of love and compassion for that person, even if they commit horrific acts, because they are the same as us. They have their foundational essence is pure love, and our foundational essence is pure love. And even if their conscious level ego mind is telling them that they're not pure love, and that there's something else, that doesn't change what their metaphysical identity is. So that's just what I personally believe. And there's plenty of different philosophies. Everyone has their own metaphysics. And I was talking about this with a philosophy streamer on here actually the other day. His name's Aristotle, and he's a philosophy streamer on Twitch. He's a really awesome dude, really genuine, really intelligent, super caring, kind, compassionate human being. And I was just saying, hey, if whenever you have two competing metaphysical viewpoints, right, and they're both equally plausible, I say go with the one with the most utility. Right, the one that produces the most benefit, right? Because you can never really say for certain which one is going to be the case, right? I mean, you can believe it in your heart that your philosophy is foundationally more accurate than the other person's, but unless you have something objectively to justify why your philosophy is more valid than theirs, it's going to be really hard to prove that's the case, right? And most of the time we don't when we're dealing with things that are of the foundational essence. We're dealing with philosophical notions that permeate throughout all of humanity and have been questions for the last 2,000, 5,000 years. It's hard to say one day like, oh, it turns out we were wrong about this, because of this thought I had or this thought experiment I did, right? So in those kind of situations, it's just better to go with the one that has the most utility. And if one is going to keep you from from going and like subjugating a certain race, or like pillaging and plundering a given land, or one's going to keep giving people more peace and love in their lives, and both systems are equally plausible, then why not go with the one that's going to make things better for everyone, right? At least that's what I believe. All right. So, anyways, with all that being said, we're gonna probably just hop into the meditation, because that's where the real shit is. That's where the real goodness is. As far as my words go, I mean, I can sit up here and be loquacious and just talk, all fucking day, but it's probably not going to mean nearly as much as actually helping guide someone into a state of perfect love and peace within themselves. Because when if someone's going to come to me with even a pretty cogent argument of why I should adopt a certain metaphysical belief system, I mean, I might believe it for a while. It might resonate with me on a given day, but overall, it's probably not going to like stick with me. And it's kind of like politics, right? Or like abortion. No one's going to come up to if you, let's say you believe one side of the abortion issue, and someone comes up to you and gives you like a pretty convincing argument to believe the other. You're probably not going to be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's a good argument. Or I'm going to completely change my beliefs. Or politics, right? I never hear someone coming up to a left-wing person, a right-wing person come up to a left-wing person and say, hey, here's some good arguments for what I believe, and this is why you should completely change your beliefs. And the other person's like, you know what, that's a great idea, or vice versa. It just doesn't happen. I think experience is more profound than words and ideas in that regard. So if someone can experience that perfect love and peace within their heart, and if they can really feel that as their foundational essence and see it for themselves, then that's going to be way more convincing than the most cogent argument you could make that appeals to the logical, rational mind. Because it feels within you, it resonates within you, within your core, within your being. And if you can, so that's what I do. I try to guide people to the truth within them so they can experience it for themselves. All right, that's enough talking for now. So let's do it. Let's do the meditation. So I always come out here real high intensity. I'm always like, ready to go with a bunch of energy. And then we slow things down and lower the intensity. And we go inside our hearts to a place of perfect peace and stillness, so that we may experience the truth for ourselves, and so that we may love one another unconditionally. So find a comfortable seated position. You can sit on the floor in lotus pose. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit in a chair. The main thing is to find a position that is comfortable for you. And then gently close your eyes and take a few deep breaths on your own. I have a Buddhist chant that I play that has a chime that goes off every 2 seconds, and you can use it to help regulate your breath count. So take a few more deep breaths on your own while maintaining good posture. Inhale through your nose, gently raising your belly. Exhale through your mouth, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in through your nose, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out through your mouth, gently lowering your abdomen. Stay focused on your breath. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Your breath calms your body, and your body calms your mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Keep your awareness on your breath. Visualize yourself sitting on a mountaintop. Watching the clouds move beneath you. Two clouds merge into one. And one cloud separates into two. The clouds move through the sky and disappear over the horizon. Those clouds are like your thoughts. Thoughts come into being, exist for a while in conscious awareness, and then disappear from your mind. That is the nature of human thought. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all ego which obscures your third eye sight. Keep your awareness on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your focus to your breath count. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. The breath calms the body, and the body calms the mind. Be mindful of your breath count. Your essence is love. The manifestation of your love is light. Your purpose is to shine your light on others. awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on all whom they encounter. Until all of humanity is glowing radiantly as one once again. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your focus on your breath count. When thoughts arise in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to your breath count. Your foundational essence is pure love. Light is a manifestation of your love. purpose is to shine your light on all whom you encounter. Awakening the inner light within them. And they will shine their light on those whom they encounter. Until all of humanity has reunited in oneness once again. And where there is oneness, there can be no separation or division. Because by definition, what is one cannot be two. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Keep your awareness on your breath count. You are not your thoughts. For your foundational essence is pure love. The beliefs that you have change over time. But pure love is immutable. That which changes is not real in the context of eternity. only that which is eternal is real. Because your thoughts do not make you, you. In this meditation, we go to the pure love inside of you. For that is your true identity. And that place is your eternal home. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that is of no benefit. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that serves you no good. Keep your attention on your breath count. On your next breath, travel down beneath the level of conscious awareness. Go to the region of your heart chakra. Feel the unconditional love flowing from that location. Feel the warmth emanating from your love. Feel the eternal joy that exists in that region. And the perfect peace that surrounds your joy. that place is your eternal home. For you are eternal, and that place is your identity. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve you well. Breathe in. Breathe out, releasing all that is of no benefit. Stay focused on your breath. When thoughts manifest in your mind, visualize them as clouds moving through the sky and disappearing over the horizon. Returning your awareness to the perfect love inside you. On your next breath, travel down deeper into your love. Allow your perfect peace to wash over you. Give yourself permission to experience the perfect joy in your heart chakra. Feel the overwhelming warmth inside of you. Feel the perfect monism within you. Separation and division cannot enter into that which is one. And oneness is an attribute of the divine, and divinity is an attribute of you. Allow yourself to sink down deeper into your perfect love. Searching out the center point of your love. Focusing with all your might on your center. Hearing love's call emanate through that center point. When you're ready, travel through your center point. I'll meet you on the other side. At your center point, you remember who you are. At your center, you remember how you came to be. At your center point, you remember your true nature. At your center point, you remember your purpose. Here in your center, fear cannot enter. For fear is based on the concept of separation. at your center point, you are completely whole. And at your center point, your wholeness is eternal. In your center, you remember all of creation. In your center, you embrace your divinity. In your center, you remember you are immutable. At your center point, you remember you flow eternally from the source of all creation. And that is the natural state of reality. That is the only way things have ever been. Dualistic ego perception may tell you otherwise. But that which is mistaken has no bearing on reality. Inhale, gently raising your belly. Exhale, gently lowering your belly. Breathe in, gently raising your abdomen. Breathe out, gently lowering your abdomen. Inhale, taking the deepest breath of the day. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your body. Breathe in, taking a deeper inhale. Exhale, releasing all stress and tension from your mind. Inhale, allowing love and light to flood your body. Exhale, releasing any sickness and tension in your being. Breathe in, allowing yourself to be open to pure divinity. Exhale, releasing any residual ego from your mind. Gently open your eyes and return to the present moment. bringing with you the peace from this meditation throughout the remainder of your day. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing this sacred space with me. I am truly honored and humbled to be here as your meditation guide. I hope you feel more peaceful and relaxed than you did prior to the meditation. I hope you have less fear and worry than you did before this practice. It's truly a privilege to be here with you. Thank you once again. How was that for everyone? I know I sure feel much more peaceful and centered than I did before we began meditation. JT Farms, excellent. Excellent. You feel good. You feel happy. Beautiful. My channel shaman is feeling good. Those of you who don't know, JT Farms is my official channel shaman, or Sha woman, whatever we call her. She's a wonderful human being, and she keeps the good energy in and expels the bad energy. Yes, we all love JT Farms. I don't know what we'd do without her. She really is a source of love and support in this channel, and just such a wonderful human being. Just like everyone who comes here. It's funny, we have such good energy here. It's just such a wonderful group of people that I've been able to meet on Twitch and that have come to my channel and that show up and practice with me. It's just such a blessing to be here with all of you. Oh, all right. Maybe it's about that time that we do a raid. You know, that's what we do here. We talk philosophy, then we meditate, and then we raid someone. Let's see who's all out here. I'm going to check my master list. Unless someone has some suggestions of someone they really want to see get raided. Check my master list. Ooh, we do have a musician out there. We got a musician. I like supporting the arts and music. It's always a pleasure to support musicians and artists. Like, think about how boring, reality, this dualistic reality would be if we didn't have art and music, right? So let's support one of my friends who's an artist, or a musician. I mean, here. I guess if you're a musician, you're also an artist. So this is GG7791. She is a DJ. She does singing, piano, all sorts of good stuff. So we're gonna raid her. And yeah, thank you all so much for being here with me. It's truly a privilege. I love each one of you unconditionally, and that will never change. Thank you so much for sharing this space with me. Namaste.